Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop, and it is time for a new SFX magazine. This month it's dated, Christmas 2022, and it is quite an apt issue for Christmas 2022, because I went over, the Radio Times and all the announcements to see what Christmas telly's on. I love Christmas telly. Like, Christmas telly is normally awesome. And I love English Christmas. I think it's a bit strange for a Bible-thumping rabbi who lives in Samaria to love English Christmas. Well, look around you. I do. I like all this stuff, right? I really, really do enjoy Christmas. I think it's wonderful. But this year, I'm somewhat bereft. There is nothing on. There's one thing on. Mark Gatiss has another one of his, 30-minute M.R. James horror stories on. Other than that, my bubble's gone. Where's my bubble? There's my bubble. Other than that, nothing at all. I mean, really nothing at all. And that is very reflected in this issue of there being nothing of interest, which is another issue, which has absolutely nothing of interest in. Although there was one thing I saw, I was like, oh, that's actually a bit of news to me. So I can't even remember what it was. It can't be that, but you find out in this review. Anyway, this is your digital walkthrough of SFX. If you would want to buy, why? I don't want, why? I keep meaning to check the stats on these videos to see if they do any well. If they're not getting any traction, I'm cancelling this subscription. There's never anything in it I'm interested in reading. It's written by idiots that have egg all over their face. I mean, it's just kind of a ongoing trope with this magazine now. There's really little in there of interest whatsoever. The reviews are useless, the articles are boring about things they're not interested in. I mean, they have a big article on Avatar, which is, I know, it's their big Disney hope for the full Christmas season. It's gonna sink without trace. I'm sorry. It's a 400, 500, 300 million movie that's gonna lose a lot of money. Maybe this will be the thing that breaks Disney. I mean, they can't keep losing money, right? They can't. I mean, what was that other movie they did? Weird Place, I don't even know. They can't keep losing money and it just be like, hey, no, I mean, maybe they can. I don't know. Look, I saw Kanye West on Tim Pool this week, which was Bizarroville beyond Bizarroville. And after he walked out. And after he subsequently appeared on Alex Jones was like, you're a weirdo, mate. I think somebody tweeted at Tim Pool, you dodged a bullet, right? That's how you should feel if you don't buy SFX magazine. You dodged a bullet. There's nothing in there. And look, I want to let you know how forgiving I am about how, progressive, liberal progressive entertainment, right? I'm very, very easygoing with it. Do you remember the Christmas Carol by Stephen Knight? It does Peaky Blinders. It was kind of a relatively feminist take on Christmas Carol. I really liked it. There was bits in that I really, really liked. I thought a lot of it was very clever, like Stephen Graham as Marty. But yeah, that's how easygoing I am, where everybody else was shooting themselves in the face rather than watching it. I can't stoop as low as that awful War of the Worlds they did a couple of years ago. That was, oh God, that was awful. But I'm relatively open-minded to garbage TV, and still nothing, absolutely nothing in this issue I could find of any interest whatsoever. Anyway, I hope you find this video more interesting than the magazine. Like, share, and subscribe and comment. All those things are very good. Thank you very much. It'll give me a bit of Christmas cheer, and I could always use a bit of extra Christmas cheer. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Sign up my Substack, my email newsletter. Link is in the video titles there. Thank you very much. Sign up to that will let you know where all my incredible doings are, like all my incredible content, where you'll be able to find it. So sign up to that. Sign up to my paid one, because that's basically the same thing, but you pay me. So I just think that's a great idea. Finally, follow me on Instagram. It'll be wonderful. You will be so unbelievably happy that you decided to follow me on Instagram. I could just imagine you waking up out of bed and leaping out with joy every morning, knowing at some point you'll be able to look at my Instagram and go, isn't that good? Yeah, thank you very much. So like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack, Instagram. Fine! Let me hand over to me, and Dan joins me in the middle of this review. Dan Hadley from Facebook. Please subscribe to his channel as well. That's actually a really good channel. So he joins me, Bill. Thank you, Dan, for joining me. And let me head over to me and subsequently Dan from last night. SFX. So we got a Christmas issue. I see they have the Doctor Who logo on there now. Doctor Who 60. Did they make that logo, you think? I can't tell. Or is that a branded logo? Is that a new one? I can't tell if they made that logo or if it's a brand. Here, let's zoom in on it. 100% unofficial. Okay, fine. That's what I thought. Yeah, they say the anniversary celebration begins here. No, it doesn't. Not in the slightest. David Lynch is in this. I didn't notice. You have to try and point him out to me, right? I didn't know doing this. I say this is why I miss living in London, right? I take it this is in London, right? Being able to go and see like theater like this, I really miss this. Being able to have like culture at my fingertips. This is really cool. I like the idea that they made a play of this, which means I guess it's going to be a movie. Yeah, the way that's the way these things go. Fine. What's in this issue? So we got Avatar. Man, I'm not interested in Avatar. I'm not interested in anything. I always got to remember to check the stats on my SFX videos. Is it worth doing them for the videos? Because like if it's not, I'm canceling the subscription. I don't care about any of this shit. And SFX is not an opinion I really give a shit about in their reviews, right? I find out so little from it, right? I find most of the stuff out from the review. So there's stuff about this movie, Dark Material's not watching, Doom Patrol. I kind of fell out of in the middle of last season. I think I should finish it off. I didn't mind it, but I'm not like the Rig. I don't really care. It's a new thing. Ghost Story for Christmas. The only thing on this Christmas I'm vaguely interested in. The Mark Gatiss Ghost Story for Christmas, right? So yes, I am interested in that. Lauren O'Brien, I guess I'll read that. And Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Nah, not really. Not really into it. You got Red Alert. George Takei, not interested. Oh, I'm so not interested in George Takei. You know they kept being in a terminal camp. Yes, we fucking know. Oh my god, yes, we know. Oh, I'm sorry that shitty thing happened to you. Maybe you shouldn't be all on board becoming an authoritarian too. Fine, let's keep going. Why? Why are they even talking about this? Morons. Oh, I know why. Because they wanted to substantiate themselves. POV, job interview at primary school. Well, they do look a little bit, yes. As somebody grew up watching Doctor Who in the 80s, Jodie Whittaker's finale was an absolute treat. Well, she left. God, okay, fine. You know, I understand you're keeping up this fantasy that she was overwhelmingly beloved, right? That's it. I mean, she wasn't. Nobody gave a shit. Doctor Who magazine was on its fucking knees. And then David Tennant came on there. They said, oh, fuck for that. And they started selling some. I mean, the only reason these videos are getting views is because it's me swearing at you. Saying you're an ignorant, awful people. And, oh, God, soy boy number one. What's your rant about? Haven't had time to watch Andor past episode 4, so it's of course it's one of everyone's raving about. No one's raving about it, right? Absolutely love the Devil's Hour. Oh, it made me so excited. You can skip episodes 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just go from 1 to 6, okay? It felt like tad much above recent television. It's called Peter Capaldi, the guy you fucked over for Jodie Whittaker. Marvel's Predator comic is excellent. Oh, I don't trust you. Even better than their aliens. I don't trust them. Right? At all. I'm really enjoying Cabinet Curiosities. Some probably good scares. I've only seen the first 2. None of them has really impressed me. Right? So he's a Star Wars agnostic, but loving and okay, whatever. Still picturing the RTD brought back Doctor Who's classic diamond logo. Since reading The Willows, page 22, I've been I don't care. Wicker Man, so and the dreadful Nick Cage. Even so, I'm intrigued of the news that Howard Overman's TV series, if he can do for The Wicker Man what Lisa Joy did for Westworld, it will be pretty amazing. Oh, that's very interesting. Howard Overman Wicker Man series? That's really interesting. Okay, yeah, you have got my interest. Let me look this up. He did Misfits, didn't he? Howard Overman Wicker Man series. Misfits, right. Okay, let's have a look at this story. Deadline. I think this is, I guess, why I still read bloody SFX magazine. It actually broke a story for me. We're looking at it right now. Where is it? Tab, deadline. There we go. Wickman TV series in development with Andy Serkis, the Imaginarium, and the Studio Canal backed by Urban Myth. Oh, so they got the money, so it's going to happen then. Well, it's 50 years after the release of Robert Hardy's classic horror, Andy Serkis and John Cavendish, the Imaginarium, Studio Canal. Okay, I'm doing a Wickerman TV series. We did War of the Worlds. Oh, fuck off. That's awful. Misfits was very good. War of the Worlds was fucking awful. Originally starring Edward Woodward. Hardy's original became Edward Woodward and Crystal Lee. Hardy's original became a cult horror classic. It's true. It's fantastic. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it very highly. It follows police sergeant Neil Howe, who journeys on a seaplane to a remote Hebridean island of Summerisle to investigate the disappearance of a young girl. The devout Christian is dismayed to find the islands have thrown away his Christianity and go to their Celtic gods and ancestors. And it ends in tragedy. So it's, I think, good. Having been remade in 2006, it was awful. Overman said the TV adaptation will differ from the original film, but will explore the same themes of sacrifice, superstition, and ritual that were at the core. Okay. I listen, I would check this out, right? I would check this out. Studio Canal back to Overman's War of the Worlds. Is that the yeah, Howard Overman War of the World? Was it the horrible woke piece of shit? Who's starting this? Oh no, it's the one. Oh, I'm so okay. Now I'd watch this. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna look at the premise and the trailer. I like Howard Overman. Now I know Howard Overman's involved. It's gone 3 seasons. Okay. Now I know Howard Overman involved. I'm actually going to check this out because I like Misfits a lot. That's the way it goes, mate. Fine. Back to SFX. They've actually shared a piece of information with me. You've earned your digital crust for another month, right? It's a very good comparison by Lisa Joy and Westworld. I wish there was going to be a 5th season. Really pleased to see some of the original ghost stories for Christmas on Blu-ray at last. Yeah, I do like those. More HD diet. I actually might get these. I'm outraged that Westworld won't get season 5. Look, what can you do, mate? I'm sorry. I wanted it too. It wasn't economical. They were wasting too much money. You know why we got hit like that? Because you backed relentless shit. You said it was the bestest ever in this magazine. Still going on about how great Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who when it was an abject failure, right? I'm sorry. And Andor's been an abject failure too. I'm sorry, right? Even though people like it, it's been a failure in terms of popular, engagement. Sometimes Andor can feel like it's around. What would Star Wars be with like all the fun taken out? Yes, but there's clearly room for the tones to star in Galactic far away. Intrigued by rumblings of indie TV series, please know Raiders of the Treasures of Versailles, like the old ones. Yeah, no, that I didn't really like those ones. Yeah, I don't really care what Tara Bennett has to say. Woke weirdo that she is. Fine. Yeah, so I might actually get the 3-disc set. Which ones are on these? I do love these ghost stories for Christmas. They're really deeply, unnervingly spooky. Any modern comics not interesting. So Guillermo del Toro's got a new movie coming out, so I would definitely check that out. That's coming out tomorrow, I think. Right? It's it looks like it's stop motion. It's not CGI. That's kind of wild. Okay, I would certainly check that out. It's on Netflix. I've already paid for it. Okay, I've already paid for it. Right? So I'm gonna watch it. Right? That's what it is. I'm not gonna get this because I haven't paid for it, and I wouldn't even if they if there was a way of me getting it. I could get it digitally. I'm not interested. Right? I'm not into Tom McFarlane and Greg Capaldi. Is that Tom McFarlane on the art? I doubt it. No. World's Finest. We got Spawn, Batman. Don't really care. Here, let's have a quick look. I like looking at the news one. Oh, it was quite nice.
Yeah, I do. So I do like the look of this. It's got Greg Capullo and Todd McFarlane working together. Yes, it's probably going to be pretty good, I'd have thought.
Hey, who's Sydney Sweeney?
She's that fit piece.
She's the new Barbarella.
Yeah. She's out of some. She's out of the White Lotus show. She's gorgeous and she's stacked.
Exactly. Okay, fine. I'm sold. I'm sold. Yeah, right.
I think you'll be very impressed.
I am very impressed. It seems to be coming back into vogue after having a big time of going over this weird transy thing. Right? It's suddenly, boobs are back.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm happy for trans people. Obviously, should be able to do their thing and live the life that they want to live and watch what they want to watch. But I want to see. I want to see fit birds with massive guns.
Yes.
What's wrong with that?
and I'm not like, I'm sure there's more to it than that. Look, perfect for Barbarella. I really didn't mean to zoom in on a booth. But perfect for Barbarella.
These things happen, mate. These things happen.
But who really cares? Lovely. Okay, good. I just think the times are changing. Right.
I think people have realised that sooner or later they've got to start making money again. And in all truth, I mean, this Sydney Sweeney, who I'd never heard of before she got the job, before she got the Barbarella role, she just seems like somebody who gets it, probably quite regularly, who gets what fandom's all about, who knows the appeal of those kind of movies. And it isn't just the horny middle-aged guys like us. Seriously, those things can really bring people together and give them a bloody good time.
You know who's the same is Ana de Armas. You put her in anything, I'm going to be like, I want to see it. Yeah, I mean, she was great in that Bond movie. She was the best thing in that Bond movie, right?
Yes, she was. Yeah.
We got Sharon Oben Shinroy helming a Star Wars movie set after Rise of Skywalker. I believe it when I see them filming it, right?
Yeah.
Do not believe that unless it's like 100 years later. They're doing a new Godzilla it's coming out on 3rd of November. Okay, next year. Nicolas Cage stars in the post-apocalyptic thriller Sand and Stones.
I thought you were going to say Nicolas Cage is playing Godzilla. I thought, fucking hell, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I bet he would as well. Jeff Goldblum is a wizard in the 2-part film Oz prequel Wicked. Okay, they made 2 movies out of that. Blimey. Yeah. Aquaman's David Leslie John McGoldrick is writing. Don't care. Barbarians. Georgia Campbell joining killer fungus flick. Cold Storage. Don't care. Small producer. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. Okay, fine. Now we've got George Takei. He's got an exhibition about how he was oppressed as a young Asian boy and now he's gay. Okay, George, it's fine.
Yes, he looks very oppressed now, doesn't he? Multimillionaire, has been for decades. I'm getting very tired of that man. I know he's quite elderly.
Honestly, when William Shatner had enough with him, I think I did too. He's like, George, we're old. Forget it. Move on. Move on. Enjoy life. And I think William Shatner's 100% right. I really do. So Octavia E. Butler is a seminal science fiction novel, Kindred, finally getting adapted. Was it always about a black main character, or this is a new thing? Do you have any idea?
No idea whatsoever. Isn't Kindred the one about the vampires from the 18th century? So it
could be. I don't know. Like, it's so boring. Sandman's okay, but again, what's the name? What's this? Death stood out like a big black thumb. I worked out what the deal was with Neil Gaiman, right?
Yes.
She did. She was like, ah! I'm like, really?
Of all the characters to race swap, you picked the whitest character in the entirety of pop culture.
Exactly.
What a twat.
It was shocking, right? And it was just but his deal is this: when he says he sees no difference between that very black actor,
he is a liar.
Right now, this is what's going on with him. He's had an open marriage for years, right? And he's hated it. He's hated every second, and he's done it by completely committing to an ideology, like completely submitting.
Mate, I have heard so many stories because of some of the circles that I've moved in over the years. I've heard so many stories about Neil Gaiman's behaviour that I assumed that he wasn't even married. Now, I don't exactly live on the wild side, I've had experiences like everybody else has, and I've moved in circles. So when I found out that he'd got a marriage, open or otherwise, it blew my mind. This man has been laying pipe for years.
Yeah, I'm just like, why bother being married?
I don't.
It's weird, and he's got kids. It's just weird. So Wicker Man. Aubrey Plaza is going to be in a Marvel show. Agatha Covenant on Chaos. Piss off. It's a sequel to.
Yeah, sounds awful.
Yeah, it was a sequel to the Scarlet Witch show, whatever it was called. Sight Vision. Scarlet Vision.
Don't get drawn on the details, Rabbi. It was called. Oh, hang on. WandaVision.
WandaVision. Yeah, I can't remember. Paul Bettany is back at Vision in Vision Quest. I don't care.
Yeah.
Dark Materials. Yeah. Daphne is joining Star Wars Acolyte. Okay, I'm gonna go against the crowd right now and say I think the Acolyte is going to be quite good.
Why do you? Because to me that's got so many flashing neon warning signs above it at the moment. So what's convinced you that it could be okay?
One thing I like about it is Lena Headland. All her work's been very good.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the bottom line. I watched Russian Doll. I thought it was excellent, and she was a head writer on that. And when she speaks, she's clearly understands science fiction. I think she's going to do a genuinely good show. I think it's going to be about whatever lesbian main character or whatever, but I think it's going to be genuinely a good. I think she's a talented person. I think she's a bit of a nightmare, but I think she's a talented person. But I think everybody who works in Hollywood who's anyway successful are awful people, right? So I think she gets like that.
What I think is sort of regardless of the writer, which I hadn't really got a strong feeling about one way or the other. I think that what had swung it for me was when I saw that was being positioned. So it will be it's before the Phantom Menace. So the Acolyte will once it's been broadcast, that will stand as the earliest televised Star Wars story that's been committed to film to the screen. And as we know on past form, usually when they go back to, if they go back to before day one, that usually means that they want to subvert something on a fundamental level in a fugitive doctor kind of way. And that's what worries me for Star Wars. And makes me think I'll pass on.
Honestly, everything I've heard from her has sounded sincere, that she understands and respects the law. I don't know. Listen.
You're
every
probably right.
flag is on this in the world. Like every but and was it Andor was boring as God, it was so. But I still haven't finished. I got to watch the last episode again because I kept falling asleep. I mean,
I think with these projects, though, mate, I think with the Star Wars stuff and the Marvel stuff, could it be that they do get good people involved, but it's whoever's whispering in their ear, whoever the project has originated with. If it's come from this writer, then you're probably right. But if it's come from Kathleen Kennedy or from other people in that organisation who do seem to have that particular bee in their bonnets, and they're kind of throwing money at them and saying, tell this story for us, tell this story rather than tell the story you want.
What I think is going on with both her and Russell T Davies is they are selling them stories that they want to hear. Right, but they're also the stories that I genuinely think Rusty Davis has got a win-win-win going. He's going to give Disney everything they want. He's going to give us everything we want. right? I think Shooty is everything Disney wants, right? I think you'll have non-binary aliens at some point, whatever. I don't get that. I think he can't do it without it being real characters, right? So I'm like, as long as they're a character, I don't care, right? Yeah, as long as they're not just a gender point, right? So, it's I think hopefully, who knows? We'll find out.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I think that Russell is more than capable of delivering something for everybody.
By the way, we will, after I finish SFX, and we're not far enough in it. We got to look at the Phoebe Waller-Bridge thing, which is bollocks beyond bollocks, mate. If you're watching this in playback, the Sun ran an article that Phoebe Waller-Bridge was coming into Doctor Who to Me Too it and punch it up.
Yeah, I've had so many people send me that link. I'm going to make some sort of video on it when I've had a chance to look at it properly.
When I posted a YouTube short about that got like 300 views in the first hour.
Wow.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it's clearly people want to talk about this. I mean, we're not going to be talking about it on Type 40 Live tonight, everybody, because I'd have to explain to at least half the panel who Phoebe Waller-Bridge is, and that'll take half an hour. So we're not going to be talking about it tonight. But I'm aware that there is a story floating around.
Did you see my thumbnail about it?
I haven't seen your thumbnail for a couple of days.
Yeah. Hey, I'm here to save Doctor Who. Now let's get Jodie Whittaker back.
No.
Have you seen Willow yet?
I haven't. And bear in mind,
I hear it's cringe-tastic, baby.
Yeah.
Cringe-tastic. You enjoy it.
Yeah, I am. What do they call it? Resisting the launch, resisting the jump. I saw the trailer with you on this channel. I thought the trailer looked so much fun. And I read something about 2 days ago saying, and the article was headlined with something along the lines of, "Here's why it's right that Willow is led by a relationship about queerness." And I thought,
what nonsense.
Okay.
I mean, what utter nonsense.
Yeah.
Look, Marvel Comics don't really care. Looks pretty though. And fall this under what? Claudia Christensen. Reunites with her Babylon 5 classmates for a new comic book.
Is she?
Dark Legacies. Claudia Christensen. She was the one who was Commander Ivanova and was kind of hot in Babylon 5.
Yeah.
But a bit old then, right? She was hot in the movie The Hidden when she played a stripper that had the alien slug take her over.
Yeah, I remember.
Right, and then couldn't be killed. But that, I'm like, who cares? Really? Like this, Babylon 5 was like 30 years ago. Right?
Yeah, she's still eating out on, and people forget that she only did the first 4 seasons of that. I mean, she was brilliant in it, but she wasn't even there for the final run. And I've not seen her do anything since. And yet, sometimes when I do sometimes the shows that I do about other things, and if I ask people about who would you cast as so and so, usually at least one person suggests Claudia Christian, and I think she was a great actress then, but she must be quite elderly.
Well, okay, by the end of Babylon 5, she was nearly 50. Come on. No, she was no more than 10 years out from 50, and she was nearly 50. These actors are always older than they play anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I always like that, what's her name? Major Kira, Nana Visitor, always aged gracefully. Like, she let her hair go white, and I think she looked
she's
so much
beautiful,
better for it, right?
I
think she looks
Visitor,
healthy.
yeah.
I think, she does. She looks beautiful. I absolutely agree with you, right? I think it was really the right move. It was, and be your age. It's not bad.
It's a great privilege getting older.
Yeah, which most of us not going to have. God, this comic book looks awful. This artwork looks genuinely. I mean, is this a cover? This looks genuinely awful.
Well, IDW, God, that is awful. Bloody hell.
Yeah, come on. That looks like bad.
Well, IDW, it looks like they're going down harder than the Enterprise D in Generations. And it's a great shame.
Use a different analogy, but okay.
It's a great shame because I think the time is probably right for somebody to do something good with Star Trek comics. Star Trek could be on the way back, but not with them and not like that. That artwork, it's not even sequential comic book art. It's just people. It's just fan art.
That look awful. It is awful. There's a documentary about how David Lynch is influenced by Wizard of Oz. Don't really care. I mean, that's the sort of thing I would watch if I was like, come home from the pub, sort of drunk, want to watch something. I don't go to the pub, but that's basically what I would do, like with my leftover curry. That's the sort of thing. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm vaguely tempted to get a month's subscription to Apple TV Plus to watch this. Spirited Away, because I like both these people. What's the name? What's his bloody name? It's
Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds.
Thank you, those two.
Yeah.
I like it's maybe worth it for the $5 for the month, because I just.
Well, I saw the poster for that and thought, God, this is going to be terrible. And then when we were doing the Spacebook Live show on the afternoon, Matt Potts chose it as something that he wanted to talk about, and so we got the trailer up, and the trailer managed to completely change my mind in like 90 seconds flat. It looks like a lot of fun.
I mean, listen, they both, their job is to make you like them, and they're very good at it. Both of them are, they are. So, I think I might spring for that subscription month. Also, on Disney Plus, and again, I have Disney Plus because I am married and I have daughters, and that they are just connected to the bloody thing. They've done a restored version of the Muppets Christmas Carol. I am up for that.
At long last.
Yes, yeah, give me a bit of that. That's going to be good. What's this? Steph Penny talks about adapting Algernon Blackwood's The Willows for radio. Well, that's interesting. The Willows Away is on Radio 4 on 17th December. I have no idea. I'll check it out.
But Julian Sands and Bill Pullman there.
Bill Pullman, yeah, it's Julian Sands. Good. Yeah, well spotted. R.I.P. Kevin O'Neill. Yeah, it's very sad. The 2000 AD artist, famous for Nemesis the Warlock, passed away this week. He was designed the credit card on 2000 AD. That told you who did each strip. Because his first job was an art bodger, and his job was to erase people's signatures from their artwork, because that was the practice people so he got to rectify that by designing the credit card, right? Fine. No interest in this movie at all. Have you?
Again, saw the trailer. I think this looks. I thought this looked pretty good, but it's a question. I
would watch it on TV. I'm not going to go to.
No, I wouldn't go to the cinema to see it. And I do seem to have seen in the last few years a few sort of Psycho Santa movies. I think they're going to have to go a long way to beat Fat Man with Mel Gibson. I thought that was excellent.
Exactly. I'm basically done with all of them. I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't need to see it again. Right, I mean, I get that. I just don't need to see it again.
I like David Harbour. I can see why he's looking for a hit, why he's looking for a franchise. He's had a rough trot. David Harbour from Stranger Things and Hellboy.
Oh yeah. Well, he's in another Marvel movie.
Yeah, but I think I think everybody knows that Thunderbolts is going to be a complete disaster. So I can see why you wouldn't bank on that.
Speaking of disasters, this is going to be more of a disaster the closer we get to it. I'm less interested as we get closer to it, and I keep hearing it's got to make at least, was it 500 million or something? Or no, it's got to make 4 million or something to break even or something ridiculous. But it's never going to. Again, the CGI doesn't even look very bloody good. I know they're showing it in 3D by me, but
my opinion of this still hasn't changed. I've seen several trailers for it now and lots of visuals. And
there's still don't. Excitement. Zero. No. Absolute zero excitement.
Now and again, I do come across somebody who is excited for this now and again, and they're usually a bit strange.
Listen, people were super excited back when it first came out, but no one just if this was 3 years after the first, yes, but
tends to appeal to social justice warriors, but I don't think. But with this, I don't think they.
But they don't have any money, and they don't go pay for anything.
Well, that's true, but I also think that James Cameron isn't a social justice warrior, and the things that they have read into it over the last 7 to 10 years are not necessarily what his intentions were. And therefore, that audience who is a little bit excited for it is going to come away from it wringing their hands that they've been betrayed by James Cameron, because they've been delivered a film that he had the complete opposite to the one that.
If it's that audience, they always wring their hands. They've been betrayed by everyone. Nothing is their fault.
Yeah.
Right. What's this one? Dark Materials. Are you watching as Dark Materials?
I haven't seen. I've seen. It's series 3, isn't it? That's about to drop.
I saw most of series 1, and I realized I was bored. Right, realizing I was bored is a big deal for me. Once I realize I'm bored, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, that's why I stopped watching Wednesday. I thought the depiction of it was fine. Have you seen it?
No, I forgot it.
Just watch the first episode. Okay, this made it. The depiction of the Addams family is fine. They have Luis Guzman plays Gomez. He's very he's not very good looking. He's very chunky, right?
Yeah.
Weird looking. He looks like the original drawings. And you see why he's besotted by Morticia, right? Because he's punching out of his league. And I like the whole thing about making them Hispanic and Latino. That all fits. That works. That makes the story work a lot better as well. Like they can see why they were more social outcasts now. It's been like in the 50s, the 40s. That all works, right? I like Fred Armisen as Uncle Fester. I think that looks good. I just basically stopped at the second episode because I realized it was a teen drama at that point, and I wasn't interested in the teen drama, even with the Addams Family people in it. Right? I would say an Addams Family movie by Tim Burton with this cast, but I'm like, I'm not into. It's just it's too young for me.
No, I see. I see what you're saying. I think it looks good, but like you say, if it's not for me, if it's unlikely to appeal for me, then there's no chance I'll watch 10 episodes of it.
Yeah, I think it's 8, but yeah. So, but listen, I saw one episode and I feel like I've seen it all, right? So this, I'm not interested in it. This, I actually fell out of the Doom Patrol like halfway through the last season as well. I just got bored. I guess I should start watching again.
This I really like. It helps that the women in it are fit.
That is true.
I was going to swear then.
That is true. That is true. They are both very attractive, and then you got it played off with what's his name as
particularly the girl who plays Crazy Jane. She is drop dead gorgeous.
She's very hot, isn't she? But like, I couldn't stand it. They had a black version of her for most of one season. I was like, stop already, right? It just it's just annoying. I see that Michelle Gomez is now a regular.
I knew she was joining it, but I don't know who she's playing.
Well, she was in it last season.
No,
that's where I stopped watching. She was like a time traveler. She was very good. But like I just got bored. It's the same thing with Resident Alien. I still got the last 2 episodes of that to watch. I just got bored with it, right? What's the name? Also looks very hot. Rita Farr.
Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol is a show that I always watch with my son. And when he went off to start his new job, that's why when he went away, I stopped watching it. And when he came back, we haven't picked it back up again. That's quite odd.
Right.
So I haven't seen.
I got to check it out. This I have zero interest. The Witcher, Blood Origin. I'm like,
no.
Now Henry Cavill has left the franchise. I'm like, bye. I didn't even like your sword and sorcery shit that much. I like Henry Cavill. Bye. Right? This looks like this. This looks like one of the Peter Jackson Choose Your Own Adventure books.
I agree. I think that. I mean, again, there's a very attractive woman in The Witcher, which does sweeten it somewhat.
But she's
largely.
Not her. What the hell?
Who's that?
I have no idea.
I don't even know who that is.
I have no idea. Very racially diverse, as you said.
This looks terrible, and I'm not saying that they should have thrown money at Henry Cavill to keep him, but it does seem to me.
Listen, it's he was the only thing for me anchoring it into anything I was interested in.
Exactly.
Look, it's a stunning and brave black woman assassin. Oh, I haven't seen that since I closed and opened my eyes. Is that Lenny Henry in it? It's got Lenny Henry. That's the other reason I'm saying that. I have no idea who that is. I don't think it's Lenny Henry. He's too busy being bad and Lord of the Rings. Oh, look, they actually got a little person. Woman who's also going to be stunning and brave.
As a franchise, The Witcher will be dead by 2025. There we go.
Yeah. So there's this new show called The Rig with the bloke from Line of Duty. I said, Dooley, no interest, zero interest. Okay, didn't really like you that much online, Dooley. It's just you were there and suddenly had to say those lines. Finally, this Christmas, I found something I want to watch.
Mark Gatiss.
Nothing is on this year. Like, there's nothing at all that I'm excited to watch. Like, vaguely interested in any way apart from this. He's got another ghost story for Christmas. Half hour of just M.R. James. I love these ghost stories that they do. Have you ever seen them?
I used to watch these. He made 3 or 4. Then they didn't let him make any for a couple of years, and now he's back making them again. So since I decided to lose the TV license, I haven't seen the last 2 or 3. There are very, very few things that are broadcast on British television that when I hear about, I think, and I get that sort of I'm missing out on. But a ghost story from Mark Gatiss is one of them. I can count them on the fingers of 2 fingers.
Strong. It's half an hour a year you get, and you're like, oh, actually, that sounds good. Can you not get it on iTunes or anything?
You know what? I probably could, but you know what it's like with some of these Christmas TV. Once the moment's been and gone, you tend to forget about them, and then Christmas rolls around again.
I have a whole Christmas TV month. What I'm doing on my channel right now. Started today. I'm doing an advent calendar of all the best, most Christmassy Doctor Who. So I've had to go back and listen to a lot of Big Finish. I listened to a good short trip with. I'm not even putting it in the list, right? But it was a good short trip with John Pertwee. John Pertwee's Doctor. He was alone in the unit headquarters with Liz Shaw on Christmas Eve, and the only person there was Sergeant Benton. And they accidentally, he's like cooking Christmas dinner with like laser beams and things like that. It's like, and they accidentally cause this. They have a little Christmas adventure together. It's really nice.
I'll have to keep a lookout for them. I'd love to know what you've managed to fettle out from.
So today's one was the Return of Doctor Mysterio, which is much better than you remember. I've watched that a couple of nights ago. It's much better than you remember. It's look, Doctor Who tries to do many genres and succeeds. It can basically be Agatha Christie, it can be sci-fi, it can be in film noir, it can be anything, right? So they tried to do a superhero movie, and it didn't really work because they couldn't get the superhero stuff right. It didn't look super dramatic. It looked kind of just lame, and they really needed like a big Hollywood star to be they needed like, I don't know, Chris Evans or something to be the superhero. Like that's what they really need to make it work, and it didn't really work. But Capaldi was fantastic, like absolutely fantastic. He has some early scenes with the child actor, and Capaldi with children is just awesome. It's so
he was great with kids. Yeah,
right. So I've really enjoyed it. It's still Doctor Who, right? There's still Doctor Who doing a superhero movie, but it's also very Christmassy, and I do enjoy. I like the Christmassy stuff. Right. Tomorrow's one's going to be Iris Wild theme. The the Claws of Santa, or something like that, which is lovely. I absolutely love Iris Wild theme. Well, Iris Wild theme is what's the name? Katie Manning.
Yeah,
the old version of a time lady who was like drinking and boozing her way through time in a TARDIS that's shaped like a London bus and is smaller on the outside, and she keeps saying the Doctor's stealing his stories. Right, so she did a 5 Doctors version. I think that and so in this one, and she was like, she does like little things like sing a Venusian lullaby to try and calm something, and it's just like
fun little ideas.
Really, it's really fun, and she's got her assistant is a rather pompous, also boozy little panda called Panda.
I've never heard any of those. Lots of the Doctor Who spin-offs I haven't gone for.
Big Finish, if they could do a streaming service, they could probably get.
They'd clean.
How many subscribers do you think that they could get? They'll pay $2.99 a month.
You know what? Nowadays, I really don't know.
I reckon they could get 50,000.
I'd subscribe
across America.
Yeah,
but across America with all that like. With their catalog alone, $2.99 a month, I reckon they could really do it. Trent Middleton was very good. One of my favorites.
This is all the ones he's done so far.
Right. The mezzotint's really scary. That one's really properly scary. Martin's Close is disturbing. Dead Room, I don't remember. Track Day Middle was very good. That was also, it was more like Sherlock Holmesy.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the first two. I think I've seen the Dead Room as well, but I haven't seen all of them.
I mean they're fun. Anyway, this is the only Doctor Who content this month. They've made a logo, and they're interviewing Maureen O'Brien and ignoring everything that's going on. But good for them. They got the Blu-rays are coming out this week.
Yeah, the season 2. So some people had it a week ago.
The review people did.
Yeah,
but I think isn't it the second that's going out?
I think it's the 5th is the official date.
Oh, fine. So hopefully I'll get it within a week or so.
Yeah, I'm hoping it will be. Yeah, it'll be winging its way. Yeah, right. It is exciting to see some black and white stuff in that format for a change. It really is.
I'm so excited. I am so excited for it. Okay, got an interview with the bloke from what's it?
Titans.
Titans. Don't really care. I thought the woman who played Dove was very hot, but that's about it.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah. So this is about Freddy Krueger. They're doing a new Nightmare. Don't care. I just don't care. Michael Moorcock, sci-fi and fantasy biggest beard, tells us about myth in his work. Oh, I would totally read this. There you go. That here's something I would listen to.
Keeps on trucking, doesn't he? Keeps on trucking.
Yes, he does. We got Black Panther. Amazing, gets 4 out of 5. Look.
Wow, 4 out of 5 for this. I haven't seen it, but I haven't heard much positive about it.
Nobody's seen it, right? More people have seen Violent Night. Okay, Matilda the musical, never heard of it, but I think more people have seen that too. Bunch of movies, no idea what any of them are. Let's have a quick look at what they have for the drinking game. Someone threatens to kill or capture Andor. Yeah, okay, fine. Someone pretends to be looking for an antique in Lutheran's shop. Yeah, okay, I'll take a drink then. You get the sound of a beating anvil rings out from the town square of Ferris. That happens quite a lot. Syrian Khan is harshly belittled by his mum over dinner. Happens way too often. A character says on program, wait for episode 8. I quite like those bits. That's when it picks up. Cassian shoots somebody. Extra swig if unarmed. Okay, fine. It's just, look, they want it to be like this gritty John le Carre thing, and it's just too boring. Just basically the bottom line, it's nearly there. It needs more story. It's just too boring. How far did you get into it?
Weak Sauce. 5 episodes, I think. As I said to you last week, I enjoyed it. I just found other shit to do. I just found other stuff more enjoyable. I didn't deliberately stop watching it, and so I spent a month. I spent a month standing up for it, and I will hand on my heart say I did enjoy what I saw. But the simple fact that I fell off it without intending to means that it didn't grip me. That it wasn't doing its job, and therefore I can't really stand by it and endorse it.
I guess so. I can't believe Lower Decks gets the 3rd season. Oh my god! Like it's so awful. Let's see what I mean. Look, that's what we all look like thinking about doing Star Trek. Meta gag alert: the standing of Kirk and Spock in one episode shows as they looked in the animated series. Yeah, okay, I don't care. Captain Curiosity, I've seen 1.5 of these. It wasn't bad, it wasn't really good. That I fact I didn't go back and watch more, I think is an indication. This is Guillermo del Toro's Twilight Zone horror thing. Have you seen any?
Again, I've heard it's good. Which service is it on? Netflix or Amazon?
Netflix.
Yeah. No, I haven't watched it. I did hear lots of good things about it.
House of the Dragon, there is a lot of good things about it. I like that a lot. Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. I got about 4 minutes into. I'm like, I'll maybe 7 minutes, and they're only 15 minutes episodes. And I couldn't stomach it. It was in the peaceful, loving, female-led society of that the Ahsoka Tano came from, and it was just like stunning women being stunning and brave, and it was just like, look, this is going to be over soon. She's going to be grown up and born or something, and you'll be able to move on to being. And I couldn't get through it. Right? It was too cringe. It was way
They're
too
spreading
grim.
Star Wars so thin.
Man. Wednesday we've already reviewed it and probably did a better job. They like the extras and they like everything. Let me see if there's any. There's a Mashy Sweet interview that I'm looking forward to. They recreate. What episode do they recreate in this? There's one episode that was missing.
And they've put the telesnaps in, have they? Isn't it the
It's Crusade. Oh, I love the Crusade. Was it after? Was it Magneto and equal parts flinty and whimsical, wizard and grumpy? The 2 episodes of the Crusade are missing, victim of a short-sighted BBC. Thankfully, the chase tells us that anything that ever happens is recorded in light and neutrons, so accessible by space-time visualizer. There's a hope. Until then, this black and white box. Well, what do they have? They said they recreated the episode somehow, but okay.
I think it's in telesnap form because there was a little bit of, the kind of piss and vinegar that people do come out with, that it wasn't animated, but obviously animation's very, very expensive. You see, people assume things all the time, and when the thing comes out and it doesn't, people assumed that when they got around to putting the black and white stuff out on Blu-ray, that everything missing would be animated. I could never understand.
They were never going to do the Crusade. They always said it was too difficult to do.
Well, the animations project was, even though the only similarities, it's all Doctor Who and it all comes out on disc. It was made by completely different people, completely different teams, and the money for both projects came from completely different sources, completely different corporations.
Yeah, but I'm sure they do the Patrick Troughton disc. They will license them. They'll be crazy not to.
What was that? Sorry.
When they do the Patrick Troughton box sets, they'll have to license the animation.
I don't think. Well, I don't know, because some of it, obviously, some of those seasons, there's so much material that's missing. It depends on how many episodes. If the episodes that survive,
I think they would totally sell. You do a season 5 with
they would.
It's all animated.
No, I'm not saying they wouldn't sell, but what I'm saying is that the money to make them just isn't there. And they would never make it back by selling it as part of box sets.
No. It's got to be sold individually.
For a price that people would be willing to pay. People made the assumption. People made the assumptions that all this missing material would be animated. It was never even hinted at by BBC Studios and the people who put these things together.
Yeah,
so it's come out. It's come out, and people go, "Oh, it's not animated." Well, no, it's your assumption, not their promise.
We all hope that there'll be some kind of a recreation of them, right? Okay, didn't happen. I
think that in my view, the telesnaps, if the telesnaps are presented in an imaginative, if they're clean, and secondly, if they're presented in an imaginative and creative way that sort of flows, that aids us somewhat, that they're not completely static, then that's more than adequate. It's honestly,
in the Web of Fear, the telesnap was totally acceptable, and the animation was just atrocious, absolutely atrocious.
I've just noticed what the time is. I know
that's why I was trying to wrap this up. Let's wrap up this issue, then we'll talk about your show, okay? Because it's coming up. You got like an hour and 5 minutes till the show starts. So
I must have got here later than I realised.
I don't say We Are Not Alone only exists because they couldn't get together to make Red Wolf. It is a replacement for Red Wolf, and bit of a bummer because it does look that good. Ghost Stories for Christmas. I may well buy this. That looks a lot of fun. I do like those things.
Yeah, agree completely.
Gummidge. They got the complete Wurzel Gummidge on Blu-ray. Blimey, is it the complete? Is it missing the Australian stuff?
It's just Wurzel Gummidge, not Wurzel Gummidge Down Under. So it's just the 4 seasons of Wurzel Gummidge itself, as I understand it. I could be wrong. And it's also very, very expensive, because I said when they announced that was coming out that I would definitely be buying it.
How much is it?
They kept the price tag secret for months. It's over £90. Which I think is
no way.
I think that's a bit on the rich side. Yeah.
Oh,
I will buy it, but But this close to Christmas, when I've got family to buy for as well, to treat myself to something like that, no, it's not going to happen.
Right. So this looks interesting. It's coming out December 2nd. It's not CGI. I think it's stop motion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got David Bradley, Ewan McGregor, Tilda Swinton. That looks good. I would totally check that out. Nope. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about watching it. Nope. 3,000 Years of Longing. They can go another 3,000. I don't know. Don't care. Not interested. Bodies. Not theirs. Star Trek Picard Season 2. Garbage. Hellraiser. Doesn't look very good. Okay, mini reviews. City of Last Chances. That's what Doctor Who's on, mate. This is your last chance. Doctor and the Daleks. Oh, that looks like a nice coffee table book.
Yeah.
The
John Walsh's new book.
Yeah, Dice Man is not Dice Man, the Rebellion. Do you ever remember that book when 2000 AD put out a monthly book where you basically chose your own adventure with Dice Man? So they're bringing that out this year. It's not Dice Man, which is something that's different. This looks lovely. Rocket ships, ray guns and rocket ships. That's really, really good. I would like to get that. Okay, Clive Barker's Dark World. I would vaguely look at that. Don't care. I mean, at least the Death of Superman, is going to be good because it was done 30 years ago. Predator, they love, but I don't trust them. Finn, don't care. Love Everlasting looks garbage. Gotham Knights, Xbox, don't really care. Children of the Stones, music, 20 minutes, blimey. They get a 20-minute disc, okay. I had this Judge Dredd game, and it was garbage then. I don't know why they even bothering reissuing it. I guess because enough people forgot how bad it is. James Cameron, leave us alone. Next month, December 28th, Star Trek Picard. It's going to be over. Thank God. Thank God. We'll never see it again. I wish they would release a TARDIS console for character options. They resolutely refuse to do it. Daypole. Oh, we loved you, and you were awful, right? Absolutely awful. And there we go. That is SFX magazine.
Hey.
My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.